Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? Real quick, sorry about this. This is the Reluctant Nabi with my crooked fro. Push this over to this side. There we go. Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? All right, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Sorry about this. So this is early. Um, this news is early, and my channel is being shadow banned by YouTube. All right. Why? Because the news coming out is negative. And I think they kind of understand that I am going to let people know exactly what's going on. All right. And so basically, what you have here is a failure to communicate. All right. What you really have here, let's be honest, what you really have here is a very sick country. All right. And the reason why the country is sick and will not and cannot get anything done is because the media in their lies, all right, in every facet of the country, whether it be entertainment, it doesn't matter. Whether it be entertainment, whether it be in politics, in every facet of America, there seems, and I never, this term, leftist, I never understood that. What leftist, why they call it leftist? Leftist. All right, for the life of me, I was like, okay, that don't make sense. Leftist? Why? Because they're on the left? What's the deal here? All right. And as I progress in life, get a little older, get a little wiser, I start to understand the concept of why they would say the name like that. All right. I don't know why the leftists comment, but then I usually see that when people want to be intolerable, it comes usually not from a conservative standpoint, it comes from the left, right? It's something I did not understand. Most of my life, I did not understand because most of my life I was brainwashed and pretty much castigated if I thought for myself, thought differently from the crowd. All right. So, this leftist terminology, we're going to get into everything that's going on and why nobody's getting any money anytime soon. And it is clearly, primarily, for no other reasons, not because there couldn't be a compromise or anything, for no other reasons that the Democrats saw this as a way to hurt the president politically. Now, that's my opinion based on the news that not a single Democrat voted for anybody to get any money. Not one. Here's the other thing about that bill. The Democrats and the Republicans, this is what I didn't know last night. The Democrats and the Republicans, outside of the leadership, worked together and put that bill together. So it was put together bipartisanly. It wasn't just a Republican thing. What ended up happening is, and this is the belief is that Chuck Schumer, get a gander right there. Chuck Schumer, that's good old Chuck. Charles Schumer, Democrat, minority leader in the Senate, wanted a little taste of credit, or maybe he just wanted to put the screws on the president. But in any case, nothing got done right away because politics was more important than the people, and it was the Democrats on this one. Now, when I was talking about the stock thing, yeah, it was mainly Republicans with the exception of Dianne Feinstein. But on this, the people who are holding up your progress, the people that's holding up, some of y'all people was like, I ain't spending it anyway. Okay, that's okay. They're fools, right? But this is another sick thing I'm gonna show you. There is another sick thing I'm gonna show you. But before I do that, let me greet everybody. I forgot. Havorton, Hardu, Manganangabi, Gudad, all the way to the Bang, Vasas Los, Bonjour mes amis, Kedubawani Kwanichiwa, Ni hao ni ama, Sani Bonani, Jumbo Habaragani, Assalamu alaikum, and Shalom. All right. So, y'all, if you're waiting on politics to get anything done that is not going to be dangerous to the Afro man, let me repeat this. Our own worst enemies in our community. When I say the people that look melanated like me, that's why I try to stay away from them. That's why I preach separation from those that wish your destruction. And we're not even talking about people outside the community. We're talking about people that are in the community that are so ignorant to what's going on. I want y'all to understand this. That whatever the left-leaning media put out, that's what they're going to be for. That's what I said for a Gemini 5. That's what I said in the beginning. So if you look at my video yesterday, I thought that the Democrats were blocking it. Here's the thing. Now I want y'all to understand this real quick. I put up a video yesterday in support of the Democrats blocking it, so it's up. It's on the channel right now. Right? Now, the problem is not many people watched it, but with the information that I came up with, right, I went off the words of what I heard from the Democrats. But at the end of the day, and I went off the reports with Trump, but they had a few more hours to work on it. All right. Now, here's how you know that the Democrats were disingenuous. There's a couple of things about this that people don't understand, and I'm putting this video up this morning because I didn't understand this. All right. All right. I didn't understand this. until today. All right. All right. So I'm going to give you another report as to what went on. And this is going to be NBC News. All right. So that y'all can see what is clearly going on here. All right. Let's see. Wrong one. That's the one I want. Okay. So I'm getting up. I was awakened way too early by somebody. All right. Okay. So this is what's really going on. All right. This is the real breakdown. So this is my growth from yesterday till today. All right. So Democrat 5. All right. All right. Democrat 5. The Democrats did have an increase in unemployment benefits along with the stimulus check. That was one of the deals that was the first thing that was put in there. All right. So when you hear that at the 12th hour, the 11th hour, they're lying. All right, that was in the bill. The first thing, and it was touted as one of the things in the bill that unemployment benefits would increase, and you would have the stimulus check. That wasn't even the issue. The issue was the $500 billion for the small businesses, and they wanted to make sure that they wouldn't be able to use it to buy back stocks, which is an easy fix. At least that's what was said. All right. Come to find out that coming out of the mouths of the Democrat, none of that is true. And there is a reason why they would be able to lie with impunity on the left in a way that, regardless of how dishonorable you think Trump speaks, at least he tells you the honest truth as he knows it. I'm saying as he knows it. All right. So understand this. This is why y'all aren't going to get any checks anytime soon. All right, because and Nancy Pelosi is in on this. So what is more important to them is politics. And this is a story by Alan Smith and Haley Talbot and Julie Sherskin and Josh Letterman and Alex Moe. Oh wow, there's a whole people all over this. All right. So the bill failed Sunday night. Produced the Senate negotiations had produced a deal for more than $1 trillion aid package. The Republicans, who need 60 votes to move forward on the bill, weren't able to win over any Democrats. Now, when you have this, then the Democrats were going in dishonest. They didn't care. They don't care about your behind. You know why the Democratic senators and the House don't care about the people that vote for them? Because they don't need to. And I'm gonna show you something. They got these people so gassed up that no matter what anybody thinks outside of the media, which is owned by the Democrats, most of it, outside of them, not only will they believe it, but they will give Democrats cover for even hurting them because they lost the ability to think critically. They lost the ability to think of more than just themselves and other Democrats. They lost the ability to think that maybe somebody on the other side might have some good ideas. That is something that I haven't seen in this dispensation in the Trump era coming from Trump Republicans. I've seen the Republicans like that, but I haven't seen Trump Republicans like that. All right. I've seen them more like, hey, whatever works. Those kind of people, whatever works kind of people. All right. And so it's a difference. But I've seen the Democrats as nothing but vitriolic to even people that look like me can't stand me because I see if Trump does something right, I give him credit for it. How dare you do that? I'm saying that there are people that look like me that would just as soon snuff me out for saying anything good about Trump if they had the opportunity. That's how bad it is. So, guess what, y'all? They get the government they got. Um, the Democrats said that they were dissatisfied with the worker protections in the bill, which was written by Republicans, and that the rules on corporate bailouts are too lax. Right? Now, here's the thing. What the Republicans put in, so again, the Republicans in these negotiations made a lot of the concessions that the Democrats wanted, and still not a single Democratic senator voted for this package. Donald Trump is trying to stay optimistic because the news media did nothing but spread lies and outright lies to even when their handpicked people started to believe the lies that the news media spread. They go in and say all of a sudden the Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, New York, and the Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, California, two of the worst places hit, show up and we're back to square one. All right. This is the very definition of obstruction. All right. So this is what McConnell said. So we're fiddling with the emotions of American people. Now, I want you to understand when they said we are back to square one. The problems that they had with the businesses, that was not an insurmountable thing. It could have been fixed. All right, it could have been fixed without going back to square one. But with Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, because they saw this as a political hit and they wanted to do politics, and they don't give anything about their base because their base is just really that zonked out. They got them under control. So they could do politics. No, there is nobody in their base that is going to hold them accountable. Who they have to worry about are the people that's turning independent. All right, let me say what's up. What's up, Chris Diamond? What's up, Zillow? What's up, Defco Daniel? What's up, Young Boy 24? Hey, Jim Rat. Um, all right, so that's basically who's in here now. All right, so this is what's going on. Okay, so let's go down further. McConnell said the second vote set for money would show whether there's any change of heart among the Democrats, and noted it would take after the markets open. Okay, which could increase pressure on the Democrats not to oppose the measure and frighten investors. Schumer is scheduled to meet with Treasury Secretary Mnuchin at 9 o'clock. All right. For the bill to pass, it needs Republican and Democratic support. But anything that Trump wanted in this state, and I'm going to show you how bad it is. And this is why you can't, and this is why, if you're on the left, I'm going to show you exactly why nobody can trust you. Period. And honestly, I used to have respect. I'm going to be honest with you. I used to like the MSNBC lineup. I used to like them better than Fox. Way better than Fox. Remember, as y'all know, at one time I was slamming Fox all into oblivion. Remember when what's her name was working for Fox, Megan Kelly. All right, I mean I used to toast her up big time. Some of my biggest videos that were in the millions of views was going in on her. Right? They got rid of her behind. And they became a more measured news organization. People don't like Tucker Carlson, but at least he's honest. And he asks poignant questions. I don't agree with him, but I like him for that reason. Poignant questions. I know where he stands. I know where he leans. He doesn't pretend to lean somewhere else and then sandbag you into that. No, like some of the dudes do when they come to my channel. All right. So, what this is all about, and you got it like this. The stalemate unfolded after the top Democrats. So the Democrats were on board, but then Chuck Schumer threw the monkey wrench in this. And Nancy Pelosi. Why? Because they wanted to get in on this because of politics. A stalemate unfolded after top Democrats said that they are not yet ready to sign off on the major coronavirus stimulus bill and will be preparing their own legislation as Congress tries to ready for the bill passage as soon as Monday. Because of Schumer and Pelosi, the whole thing came to a screeching halt. Why? Because Pelosi and Schumer wanted to introduce their own package. All right. And the deal was bipartisan. Let's make this clear. The deal was bipartisan because the Republican lay people and the Democratic lay people, before this vote took place, worked on this together. The Republicans made concessions to the Democrats. The Republicans made a lot of concessions to the Democrats. We reported that yesterday. And after making concessions that the Democrats wanted, the Democrats said, F you, that was a trick. All right. What I am telling y'all is this. Because of our media news, and because people are so mind whipped in this country, because people have been sissified in this country, especially on the left. They can't take nothing. They can't take a disagreement. Think about this. This is a nation of blockers. We're all the way down to to Facebook and YouTube. When people don't like the logic that you come with, and they have nothing to argue with, because they can see they have nothing to argue with, they will block you. When they see that your idea is a benefit, but they didn't come up with it, they will block you. Period. They will block you. That's basically what's going on. They will block you. And where did they get this from? The Democrats. Oh, but I'm going to show you how bad this really is. Newsweek. I'm going to show you something. Get my Newsweek report here. I want to read this, right? This is the news report. Americans, not all Americans, all right, but he should say the left Americans, right? Now, this is David Brennan, right? He says this as if he's speaking for all of us, right? Americans see Trump has sunk so low in blaming China for the coronavirus, state media says. All right, the coronavirus war of words. See, words matter. So does the truth, just not to reporters on the left. And I used to respect some of them, but when Trump got elected, these people were so hurt that their girl, the crooked Hillary, did not get elected, that they just went all in and lost their godforsaken minds. The World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Controls and Prevention have urged people to avoid any behavior that may cause stigma or discrimination. So the left had always been more concerned with feelings than safety. They didn't want to call this virus where it came from, the name of where it came from. All right. Because what? When Ebola came out of Africa, there was no such debate on what to call the origin of that thing. Y'all remember that? When that thing, wait a minute, I'm missing something. When that thing came out of Africa, no one had a problem with it. Oh yeah, it was the African thing. Yeah, that's right. It was the African thing. All right. So what happens next? You have this, and then you have Whoopi Goldberg. There it is. Got it. Podium's editorial both World on Thursday. And so this is basically it. When the U.S. public sees that their government has sunk so low as to scapegoat China, it is unacceptable, right? And then they go into that, right? Here's the problem. Where is it at? Where is it at? That according to the Associated Press, okay, yeah, let's get to this. No thanks. Mad World News. Whoopi Trump lied to us. Hold on for a second. Let me get to it. All right. So I'm going to kind of defend Whoopi here in general, but not. And I'll explain that in a minute. All right. Because she seems really misinformed. Whoopi Goldberg is spreading dangerous misinformation on her ABC talk show, The View. On Wednesday, the 64-year-old comedian came to Communist China defense claiming the president is lying. I remember China trying to quell the epidemic. Am I crazy? She asked. Goldberg went to explain that Mother Nature did this to the United States and we have no one to blame but ourselves. That's where I agree with her. Well, that's when she got an epic smackdown. You'll love this. Hold on for a second. All right, sorry about the delay, but I'm back. I wanted to give y'all a chance to read this. But anyway, all right. So here's the evidence. All right, so I showed you what the reporter said. All right, what's up, David Bonner? Who else came in? Hey, hey, just cool down. I kind of, hey, look, I got the Spock eye up on that one. Because I'm kind of with you. The virus is a bio warfare and connected with 5G. And we've made note on this channel that the people that are hit the hardest have the 5G towers. Okay? And so, basically, this is where we're at, right? Now, I'm going to just break some other stuff down. So, on the left, you have black people, you have on the left, white, Caucasian people on the left. You have a bunch of people that's blaming Trump. A lot of people say he's the one that did it. A lot of the people in the so-called black community are believing the Chinese propaganda. But this is the evidence, right? The evidence of China's deliberate cover-ups. All right, hold on, wait. One of the most under, here we go. One of the most underreported stories when it comes to coronavirus has to do with China. In the last few days, the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, has been putting out propaganda on Twitter and Facebook, hoping to dupe Americans into believing CCP had nothing to do with the spread of COVID-19. The crisis would have never gotten to this point if the CCP would have been open and honest from the very, very beginning. Okay, leaked video could shut down the Democrat Party for good. That sounds interesting, but we're going to stick with this. All right. The evidence of China's deliberate cover up of the coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan is a matter of public record, the Atlantic reports. In suppressing information about the virus, doing little to contain it, and allowing it to spread unchecked in the crucial early days and weeks, the regime imperiled not only its own country, its own citizens, but also more than 100 nations now facing their own potentially devastating outbreaks. China is pushing a new theory about the origins of the coronavirus. It's an American disease that might have been introduced by members of the United States Army who visited Wuhan in October. The New York Times report. The intentional spreading of an unfounded conspiracy theory, which recirculated on China's tightly controlled internet on Friday, punctuated a downward spiral in relations between the two countries. This brings us to Whoopi Goldberg, who the Times called the head of the most the hold it calls the lead host of the most important political talk show in America. Whoopi Goldberg started off the segment by showing a video clip of Donald Trump saying, well, China was putting out information that was false, that our military gave this to them. That was false. Rather than having an argument, I said I have to call it where it came from. It did come from China. So I think it's a very accurate term. But I didn't appreciate the fact that China was trying to say our military gave it to them. Our military did not give it to anybody. And I mean clearly, he's trying to pin the blame on China, Whoopi said. I don't recall hearing, I don't recall hearing China say the military gave it to them. I remember them trying to quell the pandemic. Am I crazy? That's what she said. I was uncomfortable. I remain uncomfortable. Whoopi, when they're saying, this is a Chinese virus. This is Wuhan virus. The Wuhan virus. Sonny Hostin says, I don't think it's time to do that. If it's true that China, hold it. Here's the problem. If it is true that China is saying that American military gave it to the Chinese, then our president is someone that is a counterpuncher. And we know that, and we know that. And so this was to be expected that he would counterpunch. She goes on to say he also makes things up. He makes things up to cover his behind, Goldberg declared. You know, people, as we've seen, people start punching people. Asian folks out, will attack. So we need to stop calling it or labeling it like they did to us. Mother Nature really did this to us. All right. So Americans responded by questioning Whoopi's lies and misinformation on social media. Whoopi, you as an agent of China's propaganda machine are going to realize this fire was engineered in Wuhan's weapon lab. Like scenarios, is lab tech or scientist was infected, tweeted Stephen Edwards. Wrong. China alone is responsible. If China would have acted to contain their virus instead of lying, trying to cover up their own incompetence, the whole world would not be suffering now. First of all, Goldberg, you're racist. Second, the virus originated in communist Chinese biolab, tweeted Twitter user Will. The virus came from China. I'm not reading the first part. It came from Hunan. We do know that ergo Hunan virus. Get your SH together, B. Woo! He went in. You look ridiculous. Shame on you for. I'm going to just get past that one real quick. Realizing you only finished the 8th grade makes me. Now I'm thinking about Jethro Bodine on the Clampets, right? Realizing that you only finished the 8th grade makes me slightly more compassionate to your ignorance. Communist China covered up the Wuhan virus. They unleashed this on the world. China is 100% responsible. Grow up. Dang, they just going in. All right, and so they go into this. If the CCP would have been honest from the very start, lives would have been saved. But is this a time for blame? Yes, it is. The Atlantic asks. Accounting for the responsibility when a disaster happened, particularly one likely to devastate entire countries, leaving thousands dead, is not beside the point, particularly as China's officials move to take advantage of the crisis and launch a disinformation campaign, claiming that the U.S. Army introduced the virus. It was President Trump who did what other presidents failed to do. For years, Trump has been warning us that globalization and relying on China for our vital needs like antibiotics is dangerous. Trump put tariffs on China and initiated incentives for American manufacturing companies to move back stateside. After the crisis, whatever after is, the relationship with China cannot and should not go back to normal. Nothing, in any case, will go back to normal after the sheer scale of the destruction becomes clear. ABC should also be held responsible for all of the misinformation coming from their talk show called The View. Brothers and sisters, there it is. All right. I will take this to this end. For a long time in the United States, for a long time in the United States, our news media like MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN has given the Democrat carte blanche to do whatever they wanted. Period. They've allowed them. Hey, what's up? They and the people in this country. allowed these two to do whatever they wanted to them. These two took sides against half of the population. All right. But I can't really blame these two solely. For all of you people out there that despise Trump, that has been right on almost everything when we talk about globalization. Now, I believe that when he has that doctor at the podium, Trump need to, let him speak more. But then again, Whoopi said something that she noticed about Trump. He is a counterpuncher, meaning that if the media is acting like idiots in the press room, he's going to go and battle with him. I don't think this is the time for that. I think he should throw the jerks out of the press room and then let the doctor speak without all these stupid gotcha questions coming from the media pea brains, like the reporters they got from MSNBC, CNN, and all the rest of that crap up in there. All right. I'm telling you that this country is so divided on stupidity that y'all will allow these people to take y'all under. And they will. Because in this country, we have a media that have brainwashed people into thinking that their feelings outweigh the truth. That we don't want to hold anybody accountable for anything that they did unless we could push the blame on somebody else. Like the BAWs always blame the good men for their sorry choices. This man, I give him credit for this, Trump, have been warning that we needed to do our own thing and be U.S. first. Let me tell you what the virus did. It opened up how vulnerable the United States was to China, especially when China said, if you don't allow our propaganda, we'll not ship your antibiotics to you. Oh, because China makes a lot of our stuff. Because all these companies that got all these tax breaks and stuff like that, they went to China to produce our stuff. Why? Because while the prices were still going up for us, because of the nature of capitalism in the United States, capitalism just simply means greed. At no point do these politicians like Schumer and Pelosi, maybe McConnell and all the rest of them in the Senate and House, it's just, and I'm going to tell you the difference between these two and the Republicans. Republican people will hold the Republican Senate and House accountable. Oh, don't worry, there's always one thumbs down I always get. Here's the difference between the Democratic senators and the Republican senators. The Republicans, the Republican people, the people that vote Republican, hold their people accountable based on their platform. The Democrats don't hold anybody else accountable for anything, not even their own action. What they do is they do like the BAWs do to the Afro men. They blame everybody else for their choices. That's the difference. And they could do that because they know that a bunch of people that really don't care because they're in their feelings too will vote for them no matter how much damage they do to their constituency. Young boy 24, you're right. all of our jobs, a lot of stuff went over to China. That's what business is, right? But here's the catch. The people in the United States did not reap the benefits of that, because while the businesses went over to China, the prices for the goods still went up while the quality went down. Now you got China that says we are going to withhold stuff from you because they can. Understand this. They're going to withhold stuff from you, us, the United States, drugs and stuff that we might need because they can. All right. The Democrats will block everything that will make Trump look good because they can. Why? Because they control the media. And they have control over Facebook and YouTube. YouTube had been shadow banning my last couple of videos because this is what they're doing on the right. They're making sure you don't get my notifications. Because what makes this so undesirable for them, I'm not caping for any particular party. I'm able to call out whatever I see, whoever I see is tearing us up. But I did notice these differences. And while I tell people we shouldn't be, as if we're spiritual, we shouldn't be voting for any of these clowns, I did notice this, that the people that vote Republican hold Republicans accountable for their platform. People that vote Democrats don't even care because the Democratic senators and the elected officials don't care about them. It's all about posturing and everything. And at the end of the day, the people that's going to lose the most are those left-leaning people who have alienated everybody that would be the most able to befriend them, be like, hey, use my stuff, man. It's all good. I got some brothers that if they need some stuff because I got some extra stuff, I take it to them. I drive it to them. All right. I know that I have access that they don't. Right? So I would drive it to them. And I check up on them, they check up on me. So we've been at it. Oh, that's kind of gotten difficult because we use Facebook Messenger. I was blocked off of Facebook Messenger because it is just that easy. It is just that easy to shut people down in the United States that have ideas, that use logic, that bring receipts. And when your argument is not valid, when people see you as dangerous because you are, your only hope is then to shut them down. Or cover your ears and like, not listen. Because you have no argument. When they're doing this, when these Democrats are doing what they're doing, when these left-leaning news media people are doing what they're doing, and the people that listen to them don't want to hear anything but the people that's telling the lies, then you get this. You get a bunch of people that will shut down the truth. Just like Wuhan shut down the truth. If this isn't a case of the Most High showing us where we are at as a people, I'm talking about as a black people, for those who still want to identify as black, me, I'm Aboriginal, I'm indigenous, or you can call me Hebrew. But I will refuse to identify. I do not identify as a color on any of their stuff. And I realize that I am Aboriginal, and I'm gonna start putting that one thing when they want race. I'm gonna put Aboriginal, ethnicity, Aboriginal or Indigenous, because I get to determine that. But at the end of the day, this is where we are. We're in a place where we have people that have been so sold out to wickedness, so sold out to not wanting to listen to anybody, that they shun anything that has any factual information in it, and they think that their feelings trump everybody else. This is men and women. I'm experiencing it from these dudes that have the, like I said, female mentality. I'm going to just shut you down. All right? How bad is not knowing the truth? You see a perfect example of it right here. How bad not knowing the truth is. The truth of the matter is, there was this virus that was breaking out in Wuhan province. As people started to understand something weird was going on there, the first thing that the Chinese people did is the first thing that the BAW do with their choices. Remember, this thing started in the lab. Remember the report I did showing you what the virus was? That the virus is a polymerization of two other viruses, the H1N1 and the SARS virus. Polymerization means that they're kind of stuck to each other. All right, acting as one cohesive virus. All right, that is highly unlikely in animals and more likely to be engineered. All right, remember, polymerization, we went over that. The virus, COVID-19, is the polymerization of what is looking like H1N1 and SARS. All right, starting in the lab in Wuhan province in China. When it got out, and this is probably why there was not a lot of truth, the first thing that happened was there was deflection. Oh, we've seen this. If anybody want to know what that is, ask an Afro man that stand for something, and we have a list of deflection tactics that the BAW use for us as to why we should be with them when they're bringing us garbage. Yeah, and then when we don't like it, there's the deflection tactics. So we're experts on deflection tactics. So if you want to understand deflection tactics, just holler at one of us Afro men right here. We'll give you a go at how this deflection work. All right. So this thing started there. Then as it spread, they didn't take any responsibility for it. Dang, sound like the BAW again. First the deflection, then don't take the responsibility, then don't do nothing, then next lie about everything. So what happens when you lie about it? Then you can't develop a defense against something because you don't know the truth of what it is, how it got to be what it is. Oh, and you lied about it because you had everything to do with the creation of it and the spread of it, whether intentionally or by accident, or intentionally by accident. Like intentionally they made to use it, but it got out and it spread by accident. All right? So you have all of these things going on. You have all of these things going on. You have truth that's shut down by YouTube and Facebook. And you got these companies that own Instagram and Twitter. All major ways in which we communicate with each other are being governed by people who judge whether or not something is factual by their feelings. All right. We know pretty much for sure that 96, 98% of the people that view our what we write and everything on YouTube and Facebook are Caucasians that lean left. These very people, which I say this is the racist element of it, are the ones that get to judge when Afro people, when we're talking to one another, and they're going to determine what's hate speech or not. The people that is using actual H8 against Afro people by how they judge our speech, which is built in to be judged as hate speech by the algorithms of Facebook and YouTube. And then we got these single mama raised left leaning crybabies that have no argument that shut down the truth. So through this whole thing, the truth has been shut down. And not only has it been shut down, then people of importance went to spread the falsehoods and then decided to deflect blame and castigate and criminalize people that were telling the truth, till it got to the point where this thing, because of the disingenuous nature of everybody involved, is taking lives all over the world. And when it's all said and done, there will still be more deflection tactics by these people on the left. I want y'all to understand that. We can't hold them accountable for the creation of this virus, but for the spread and relief of it, they and the media is culpable. And the media, the left-leaning media, to a more severe degree. Period. The left-leaning media, CNN, MSNBC, NBC, CBS, and all of their left-minded reporters, they are severely culpable in all this. They are the main reasons why stuff cannot get done. Because the do-nothing Democrats, as they say, they do nothing because unlike the Republicans, who are held accountable to their people that vote for them, the Democrats, in any wickedness they come up with, are shielded by the media first. And then the media tells the rest of the left how to think. To the point where you got somebody speaking, as I believe she's being as honest as she thinks she is, But the ignorance is just so dangerous. Whoopi was being honest because she was getting her information from the media and she only listens to one side of the media. Hey, what's up, Lord Veda? All right. That's why Whoopi don't know anything about what's going on. As a matter of fact, I will say this. Unless you've been watching the videos on my channel and stuff, you can pretty much see how I broke things down. You can pretty much see the scientific information that I pulled up. And you can pretty much see that I had to hunt for a bunch of sources. Because some of these things are in scientific journals. Understand this. Hey, what's up, Texas Marine? Simplify, brother. Some of these things are in scientific journals. All right. And so I had to look through a lot of stuff. I often said that these Dems were dangerous to the country. And not because if the Republicans had the media and the Trump Republicans, I'm going to call them that. Because at one point, these Republicans were not like the Trump Republicans. What's up, Dark Lord of the community? All right. The Republicans right now, I call them Trump Republicans because they're held accountable by the people that voted for Trump. And the people that voted for Trump just happen to be Republican. Or vote Republican because Trump was the Republican. Had Trump not been running, the Republicans would not have been successful. And they understand that. So they are beholden to those voters. The Democrats, the Republicans understand this too. The Republican voters will stay and leave based on how well the Republican Senate and House, in the House and Senate, maintain their values and platform. The Democrats have no such problem because they own all the media. They own Hollywood. They own Facebook. They own YouTube. For all you people wondering why stuff can't get done in the government, they own the CIA. They own the FBI. In every major thing that we have in the United States, I want y'all to understand, a Democrat is in charge in every major area except for the Senate and the White House. That's something to think about, huh? When you look at who moves the levers of the United States and why we are so exposed to this virus, you're looking at them right there. The Democratic leadership, because they never really cared about the people. You know why the Democratic leadership never really cared about the people? Because they don't have to. They tell their people how to think. And only when you break away and think independently can you realize how wicked that party is to the people in this country. Think about it. They want to take away all your rights and think for you. That's their platform. Take away your rights and think for you. Period. That's their platform. Gun rights, oh, we don't need the Second Amendment. First Amendment, oh, the freedom of religion? Oh, hell no. Not anymore. We're going to have the LG alphabet group go and shut down bakeries because they won't bake them the cake because of their religious conviction. We're going to have them shut down people on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook and YouTube, oh, we own that, so no problem. We'll have them put in their links, promote left-leaning issues at the cost of right ones. The only reason why a lot of people on the right got viewership, because the right looks for people, they look for what they believe to be the truth, and they seek out people. The Democrats don't do that. They sit around and blow trees and let information come to them by way of the TV, CNN, and Pookie that just got out of jail. This is the state of the United States right now. All right. The reason why this thing is able to spread so fast, and the reason why it was able to spread much faster in the places that it did, it all comes down to the media and media information. Whether you have a president that's trying to spread calm, and I watched this. I watched a reporter try to spread fear while the president was trying to spread calm, and Trump went in on him. All right, that's where we're at. We're at a place where nothing can get done. Nothing can get done because the Democrats run everything except for the Senate and the presidency. Think about that. You got one conservative major news network on TV, that's Fox. All the rest of them are run by liberals. Think about that. All the rest of them cannot be trusted. No one trusts them. That actually look into stuff and look at what happens after what they report, or look at what they report after what happens. I want y'all to think about this. The country is out of balance is because you only got one group setting the narrative, and they got so many tools at their disposal to shut you down. That's why this virus has gotten so bad. That's why it got out of hand. That's why it was able to spread everywhere. Because if we had they had Chinese reporters that risked their lives to get this information out. What did our reporters do? Sat on it. And then we want to blame the president. All right. I'm not blaming him or any of the governors. Well, especially in New York. I think he's doing a good job. I think Trump is doing a good job. All right. And basically, we don't know what a bad job is, but they're up and they're going through this. They're making decisions, right? So they're trying. They're getting the best information they can. So that's a good job. All right. The rest, who knows? All right. But when we come to the Senate, they suck as bad as ever. All right. And mainly because of the Democrats. because they have everything else bought up and they own everything. So they own their own narrative. There is nobody, literally nobody, to hold them accountable because Democrats do not hold their elected officials accountable for anything. At least this is what I'm saying. Whatever their elected officials do, even if they elected official comes and destroy them personally, they would still vote for them. Why? Because it's easy, so easy to get them to despise the other side. And just because. When Malcolm X said what he said about voting Democrat, he said that because he looked at the track record of eugenics, Margaret Sanger, and the Democratic platform. This is why he despised Afro people that voted Democrat. It wasn't because of the Democrats, it was because of the platform. He's like, how could you vote for this with their platform being what it is? See what I'm saying? But y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. You're looking at your two major problems right now. And their politicking and their despise of Trump is more important to them than your life and your well-being. Period. With that said, y'all, I'm out. Y'all know to check the description box for all the rest of the stuff. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. All right? And click the notification bell. But I'm out for now. Y'all know what it is. All right? Peace, love, and soul.